This is the Reverend Dr. Claud A. Sinclair, Esquire. So we're going to continue our discussion on the state of Black America. The state of Black America. You know, we know black is a misnomer, but we're going to ride with that. Let's see here before we, and I don't know how this stuff gets published and how you actually find the broadcast on Facebook. You know, how that's done. So I'm trying to see how people find the place. You know, put up the link that I thought it would appear on, but we'll figure it out as we go along. This will be rebroadcast anyway. Okay. So let's see here. Watch button there. Okay. So let's just play with it for a little bit. The watch list. Let's see. I don't know what that is. All right. I guess we'll figure it out another day. Okay. All right. So maybe the link that I gave wasn't a good link. Let me figure out how to watch this stuff here. Okay. All right. You guys gonna have to let me know how this works. Okay. I want to get. All right. Let's see. Videos. Okay. All right. We'll forget about that for right now. Okay. So let's. I've gleaned some things. You know, I had an ultimate. Let's start off with something pretty light this week. We're going to get into a heavy discussion later on. That's okay. Let me just turn this off so it's not a distraction. We'll figure that out another day. All right, real good. All right. So I've gleaned. Listened to Tony Robbins, and he came up with some rules for success, ultimate success formula. So use that as an outline to go through some issues and so forth that we can discuss before we get into the state of Black America. All right, this is a continuing series, and also I have videos on Sprecher.com /prosperity radio, where I have a lot of information there. Of course, visit the website www.powerthroughunity.org, where you can enroll and become an active participant in this movement for personal growth and development. You know, it's a process. It's about establishing a foundation. So, because we all have different educational backgrounds, and we're kind of scattered all over the place, but we don't have the ability. I guess that's why they need a government body. We don't have the ability to come together within our community, since we don't have an overall structure that can direct our vision and our thought process, that will enable us to work together generation after generation. That's what a corporation provides. And since the United States government is a corporation, they provide that cohesiveness from one generation after the other, and it allows them to amass a great amount of consistency and resources and power, which has a tendency to corrupt, especially without the involvement of the people. Power corrupts. Okay, so let's talk about the rules for success here. And we established this ministry here that I developed. It's a three-pronged ministry, the Temple of Inner Peace and Prosperity, where we talk about your inner self, developing the inner person. And we look at the concepts of Maya, because Maya is a living, breathing source of laws that govern society and governs your spirit on this journey we call life. So it gives you real, tangible ways that you should conduct yourself. It's a road, if you will, and the road has barriers. So you can't get off the road because you're focused. And government and people, they should govern accordingly. And the thing about Christianity, to me, is it's a superficial religion, which doesn't go into the deepness of it. You're talking about an outward manifestation of an inward spiritual dynamic that takes place within a person. So they took your spirit and manufactured it so you can work something outside of yourself, which you should be looking inwardly for. Just like music, right? And I use this example many times. Brothers used to create live music, right? So they computerized, they captured the sounds, computerized it, put it on disc, they broke the beats down. So now you got people sitting at a computer. They don't know anything about a musical instrument, but they can piece all these chords together, right? That's the proper term, and create music that they've taken and computerized. And there's a difference between the natural sound, right, and the manufactured sound. But we can't really tell the difference. The newer generation really can't tell the difference between manufactured music and real music, right? So it's the same thing, pretty much. They've taken your spirituality, which exists, right? They've taken it out of you, and they put it in a book, and which are our guidelines from our ancient ancestors, and we'll go through that in our history. We have lots of videos. Go to YouTube, Temple of Inner Peace and Prosperity. We have lots of educational material, and also I've included lots of other individuals that I've run across that are outstanding as well. But we need to learn to work in one accord and to build a knowledge base where we can go through. And that's what this process is all about. So we can try to create some cohesiveness. So we deal with our inner person, our inner self, Temple of Inner Peace and Prosperity. You can see that at powercommunity.org. Then you have the University in the Home program that you can enroll in, and we have that platform set up as well for the enrollment. We have courses that take you through the process, and you have percentage of completion, so you'll know how much you've completed through the process to complete each module, so you can move on to the next. Right? It's a crash course. I've taken 40 years of knowledge and reflection plus, and capsulized it and giving you the morsels that you need. Going to college to get a master's degree, a degree in finance, and all those things will not teach you the information. This is a life. This is a course in life to deal with capitalism, how you maneuver, and of course, this has to do with self-study. And as I've mentioned many times, one of the biggest things, and you have to do this throughout life anyway, learn how to teach yourself and learn to have that discipline. But one of the things that law school taught me was how to teach myself. And of course, and how to be disciplined enough to structure yourself so you can be self-motivated, a self-starter. So no one has to hover over you and tell you what you need to do, because that's not a working formula. As children, our parents should discipline us and guide us and structure us so that way we become self-starters and not meandering through life. And the early years are such critical, so critical. We're going to talk about that later. But the four rules of, so it's the Temple of Inner Peace and Prosperity, University in Your Home. And then we have the Boardwalk Management and Investment Group, which is our corporate business legal entity that will help us to implement the dream. See, the 30-day life plan is like a business plan for your life. And then what we do in the University in Your Home program is that we take that and then we implement it. We transform, we show you how to implement your life plan strategy. You know, first we want to get our temple right, and then we start building. And then now we have Boardwalk that makes sure that the legal and the business so forth things are accurate. And see, when we go through this process, I recently, yesterday on Judge Judy, it was this young lady. It was this other young lady. I'm not going to talk about the nationalities and so forth like that because it's not relevant. The knowledge is what's relevant, right? So we have one lady in the community, and that had a building, and this young lady, she wanted to start a business. She had the money. Because you got money, you need to do some research, you need to get your business plan together. So that way, because running a business is costly in and of itself, and things happen, right? So you want to at least do as much of that, the work, groundwork, as much as possible. So the lady, she had a building that the other lady wanted to start her business with. She wanted to run a daycare. But the building was not zoned for daycare, right? But the business, the young lady who wanted to start the business, right? She gave her $6,000 as a down payment, right? That means that, and then she was in Judge Judy because the lady's business wasn't zoned for it, and that course is only a maximum of $5,000, so she can only give her $5,000. She automatically lost $1,000 off the top. And this is just one of many stories. But before you start any business venture, before you give money to someone for a business, they go through a life plan. First of all, that individual, eventually this is going to be, this is because you got these different organizations and stuff like that, the Better Business Bureau and the NAACP and the Urban League and all that kind of stuff. And we look for them for outward help and so forth. But what about the responsibility that the individual should have in the first instance, right? And the biggest problems that we have is that we expect somebody to save us. That's the thing about the early indoctrination with religion, and that somebody's going to come out of the sky and save you. Look around you, right? Black folks are the most praying, church-going people they are, but still at the bottom of the economic ladder. So something else is going on here. So no one is going to come out of the air and save you. Because the kingdom of heaven was within, and the scripture tells us that we are the gods, the original creation. So that means that we have to use our brains. We have to use our brains. And remember that they enslaved our people because we were the best. We were the best. But we didn't have a violent mindset disposition. We were more peaceful, loving people. That's how they allowed them to capture us in the first instance, besides other people in the communities being complicit in it as well. Then they come back and get them later because they thought they were doing the right thing. But you can't, no person, if you're from another culture and you betrayed your people, there's no respect that can be given to you because you're a traitor. And the worst thing that a person can be is a traitor, right? So you can get your little kibbles and bits and stuff in the process, but at the end of the day, you're a traitor. Okay, so now we have the three-prong formula. Deals with a foundation, a proper foundation, right? And we have to understand a lot of us are for some reason, we get attached to premises and concepts when you didn't come into the world with that, right? So, but life is a journey. And you have to judge a tree by the fruit that it bears.